guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we are building in Sulani and we're building a houseboat. I'm so excited to share this with you guys because I really love building houseboats. This is not the first one that I've built, but I don't know exactly how many I've built. I know it's 2 or 3. I can think of 2 of them for sure, so I think it's around 2 or 3. But anyway, I really like houseboats in The Sims. I like houseboats in general. I think they're just really cool. Like the thought of living on a boat is a cool thought to me, and so yeah, I find them really interesting. I've never actually seen a houseboat or been on one, but I think they're really cool, and I've seen them on TV and stuff. I just have never actually seen one. But anyway, we're building a little houseboat today, and this one is kind of pirate themed, just a little bit, maybe not too much, but the inspiration for this build is actually Legos. It's kind of weird. But I saw this picture on Pinterest of this boat that was made out of Legos. I don't know if it was officially a set or if it's just something that somebody made. It looks like a set, so maybe it was at some point, or I don't know. It didn't say anything about that. But it was this cute little boat, and when I saw it, I kind of felt like I could build it in The Sims, so I wanted to give it a try because my other houseboats haven't looked as much like a boat, really. They've kind of looked more specifically like a houseboat. I don't know if that makes any sense. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. But I hope you guys enjoy this because I really like the way this turned out. I was really happy with it, so I hope you guys like it as well. But for the shell of the boat, I went on and started building on the second floor. That way there's nothing underneath it, so there's no foundations or anything that's up underneath it, and it looks like it's floating on the water, because if you drag it down after you place the second floor, you just grab that little arrow button and drag it down as far as it'll let you go, and then I think it comes to right on top of the water, or at least it looks like that. And so this is all technically on the second floor. But then for the front and the back of the boat, I used this item from the door decor. I think it's with the door decorations. I think it's an awning. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I think that's what it is. I didn't look at what it was called, but that's where it's at. It's with the outdoor decorations, and it's something you would put over a window or a door. So I grabbed that with the tool mod, and I rotated it around to where it's upside down. You can kind of see it now. And I used that for the front and the back of the boat. And it doesn't mess with functionality at all because it's actually on the first floor of this build, so it doesn't affect your Sims at all. I actually playtested this today. I just finished it today, and I have already playtested it. And I did have to change a few things, and I'll try to mention them as we are building, but for the most part, everything was functional and it worked really well. And so, yeah, you don't have to worry about that. But the one thing that I don't really like about this build, if I had to choose one thing, it would be how I made the sides of the boat. So you can kind of see it right now, but I ended up using this dog tunnel from the Cats and Dogs pack. And so it's very obvious that it doesn't fit in with the rest of the build because that tunnel only has 2 swatches. And no, it has 3. Sorry about that. It has 3. And then this red and yellow one is one of them. And then there's a blue and green one, I know for sure. But right this second, I can't actually think what the third option is. But I feel like this red and yellow one was the best option for this build. So I can't remember what the third one is, but I'll check it before I upload this to the gallery and make sure that it doesn't look better. But I wanted to have an object that looked like the curve underneath the boat. And like I said, this is not the best option. You know, you can definitely see it, but I feel like this house has so many decorations that you don't notice it very much unless you're looking at it. You know, it's at the bottom of the build. It's not too bad. I couldn't come up with anything else to use. I tried a few different things, but nothing really was working, and so I ended up using that little dog tunnel. And yeah, that would definitely be my least favorite part of this build if I had to choose, but I don't know. I think if you're not looking for it, then maybe you don't notice it. But anyway, you guys can let me know what you think, and if you have a better idea for that, let me know. I was going to use this post that came with the Cats and Dogs pack. It's in the debug menu, but it's kind of this wooden post. And you can see it right now. I'm putting it on the roof as well for a different reason. But I was going to try to use that because that would have been perfect, I feel like, to make the under part of this boat or the sides of the boat. And anyway, it's one of those objects that you can't manipulate with the tool mod. So it will disappear if you try to rotate it to the side, or it'll just get smaller or it'll disappear. So it's one of those items. So I couldn't use that. And then I did end up placing it on the roof like you guys can see now. But I ended up having to delete that and replace it with something else because I didn't realize that those posts were so long. They look really short when you first place them. They're just like a normal sized object, but apparently, I don't know how to describe it, but they get really, really tall. So as you can kind of see them on the roof, well, you can't see it right now, but when you can see it on the roof, I didn't realize that they were extending down into that top floor. And so they were in the way, and then that's going to be where our bedroom and bathroom are for this build. So I had to delete those and replace them with something else. Now I know though, but anyway, that's pretty much the shell of the boat. Like I said, the tunnel is probably my least favorite, but we're going to cover it up pretty good before it's over. You could also place some like landscaping around it too. I should have done that. I didn't actually place any landscaping around the boat part of this build. We're going to have tons of landscaping, but, well, maybe not tons, but we're going to have plenty of landscaping, but none of it actually comes up to the boat area. But you probably could place like a hedge, maybe not a hedge. That might look weird in the water, but you could probably place some landscaping or some rocks in front of that, and it would be less noticeable if you don't like that, because I know it's a little bit weird. But anyway, I found this flag that came with the get together pack. You have these club banner things that are in the wall decorations, and I didn't realize that one of them was the skull and crossbones, and I was so excited to find that because I kind of was building this with a tiny bit of a pirate theme. Not a whole lot of pirate themed going on, but kind of in my mind I was thinking, what if it was like a pirate who has retired and he's not actually sailing anymore, and so he's parked his boat here in Sulani. This probably doesn't look that much like a pirate ship, to be honest, but yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind. Maybe he has some sim that he's interested in. He has a love interest here, and so he's retired and he's chilling out here in this world. And I kind of put on the inside, I put a few of the criminal rewards from the criminal career. I say a few, I think it actually may have just been one that I added in. But I think that would be interesting, an ex-pirate who has turned into just a regular criminal now that he's on the mainland. But anyway, none of that really matters. That's just kind of what I had in mind while I was decorating it. And I actually really wanted this to be big enough for 2 Sims, but I was only able to fit a single bed in here. And there's no way I could have gotten a double bed in here unless I had started deleting stuff, and I just didn't really want to do that. The bedroom was kind of the last thing that I did because it's up on the top floor with the bathroom, and so I didn't want to go back downstairs and start deleting stuff. But there is a couch downstairs, so you technically, I guess you could have a sim that could sleep there, but there's only one single bed for this build. But right now I'm adding in this little glass window because I forgot to do that while I was making the shell of the build. It is kind of in the inspiration picture. They had a little glass window up on top of the boat, which I thought was really cute. And so I did go back and try to add that in. And I actually have it added in right now on the front and the back of the ship, but I do get rid of the one that is on the back of the ship because I needed to place the bathroom and I was out of space, just like with the bed. And so I had to delete that back window, which is fine because I don't think you would ever really look at the house from that angle really, so it's fine. I did think that was a cool detail though, and it took a little bit of kind of changing stuff around and everything to get it the way I liked, because at first it kind of had deleted the floor underneath it, or it didn't delete it, but you could see through it, I guess. And so I had to figure out a way to add that back in and everything, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I wish I had been able to keep both windows, but like I said, I just kind of was out of space. And I didn't think anyone would like it if I included the bathroom without closing it in. Like if it had just been a studio space with a bathroom in there with the bedroom. I felt like that was a little bit weird, so I just got rid of it. But that's kind of sad because it's a very cute little window. But for the landscaping of this build, I kind of just scattered a few trees and stuff around, just basically the basics of Sulani landscaping, or at least that's how I usually landscape in this world, is just kind of these objects that you see, like palm trees. And I don't know, I have a few favorite items that came with island living, especially with the landscaping, because I feel like I build here a lot. I haven't been building here a lot lately. I don't know why. Maybe since it's spring is coming soon, then maybe I'll be able to build here a little bit more. I don't know why. You know what? I think it's just because I recently got the cats and dogs pack, and so I kind of got into building in Brindleton Bay, and I got distracted a little bit. But I love building in Sulani, so I definitely have some favorite items when it comes to landscaping, and that's pretty much what I just stuck to with this build. I did add a little bit of the, is it coral? Is that what you would call it? Coral? I added a little bit of decorations to the water. I don't know if you would call that landscaping, but I added a few of the debug decorations out there in the water, but only on one side because I kind of got bored of that halfway through it. So I moved on to the interior. And I did have a little bit of those items that I used for the shell of the build, the door awning and that tunnel. I did have a few of those items that kind of poked up through the floor that you could see, but I feel like I got them all covered up pretty much, and they don't affect the functionality. I think I've already mentioned that, but I tried to kind of place items in a certain way where they would cover that area up. And so sometimes that's why I chose specific items, was just so that it would be solid enough or big enough that it would kind of cover up those, not really glitches, I guess, but where those objects are coming through into this room, but they're not supposed to be there. So this bottom floor has the kitchen. You have already seen that. And I added a small living room. I added a massive TV, which was partially to cover up those windows because those windows are not supposed to be placed on the curved walls, but I wanted to use them, and so they look a little bit glitchy on the interior. So I used that huge TV to cover that up, but also because I feel like a retired pirate would want a big TV. I don't know. Am I wrong? What do you guys think? I don't really know what a retired pirate would do. I don't know. When I think of like Pirates of the Caribbean, probably Jack Sparrow wouldn't want a TV. He would just probably want a bar. That's probably what I should have put there. But I wasn't thinking about that as I was building. But yeah, for some reason, I felt like a massive TV made sense there. And then this top floor is where the bathroom is. And so the bathroom is extremely small. It's one of those situations where I could only fit in a shower and a toilet. And so the sink is actually kind of placed into the bedroom, but I couldn't come up with a better option for that. So I feel like it's fine. You know, it's not a big deal. This isn't the fanciest boat. This isn't, you know, a luxury houseboat or anything like that. So it's fine. But one thing about the bed that's funny is that I placed the bed underneath that window because, I mean, that would be the most amazing view. And I thought it would be functional, but it wasn't. And so I ended up having to drag it out kind of more into the room. I didn't have to pull it all the way into the room, so there isn't just a huge like space, but there was enough space that I had to add some decorations to it. And I did all that after I had done recorded because I was playtesting it and realized that it wasn't functional because I really thought it would be. I don't know if it's because it's kind of placed inside the roof, because I've done that before, but I think it's usually when I drag the sides out instead of actually having a roof open like that, if that makes sense. So I think that's where I went wrong, but it is functional now. And I'm going to try to get this on the gallery as soon as I can. I'm kind of bad about getting stuff uploaded sometimes, but I am going to try to upload this one because I really enjoyed this build. So I hope you guys do too, but that's pretty much it for today. Thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me today during the speed build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. And thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon with another speed build.